Sometimes the snow comes down in June. Sometimes the sun goes round the moon. Just when I thought our chance had passed, you go and save the best for last. Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome to this edition of Talks in the Car. Have you ever felt as if you are at the end of the line? You're in the back, you're being passed over, you're watching friends and family celebrate accomplishments, celebrate manifestation of prayers, and here you are at the back of the line and it feels as if the line is not moving. You've been praying, you've been asking God, you've been working on things, you've been working on yourself, but it feels as if your prayers are not being heard. It feels as if your prayers are not being manifested. It's hard to feel as if you are always at the back. It's hard to feel as if the line that you're standing in is not moving. But I want to encourage you today and to remind you that sometimes what's at the end, what's last, is the best. The best doesn't always need to be first. Sometimes the best comes later. Think about your favorite dish, your favorite food. I love meatloaf. And while the meatloaf will taste good day one, it tastes better the next day because the ingredients had time to soak in and work in and marinate in. And so it actually will taste better the next day rather than day one. And so I want to encourage you once again, just because you have not received what you're praying for yet, just because it seems as if things are going slowly, that you are at the end, that does not mean that the best has passed you by. There are reasons why God has placed you in the order that you are in. Perhaps He wants to work on your finances a little bit more. Maybe He wants to align you with someone who's going to be able to give you a good rate on that car. Maybe someone has a home that they're getting ready to sell that is perfect for you, that will be your forever home, but you have to wait just a little while in order for that to take place. I know sometimes you've been dating and you've thought that you've met Mr. or Mrs. Right, and then you come to a place where the relationship has ended and you're like, am I ever going to be married? Am I ever going to connect with that special person? And in those moments, you can start to feel that depression. You can start to feel hurt. You can start to feel like your time of being one with someone will never take place. You might feel that the time that you had with other individuals was wasted because that time is something you can't get back. But in saying all of that, God may be preparing you. God may be preparing that next person for that last relationship. When you meet him or her, that will be the last person that you have to meet, because that is the wife, that is the husband. And while that is difficult to go through, the last may be the very best. That could be the very best relationship that you have ever had. Why? Because God has prepared you. God has prepared them. And God is positioning you to be in a relationship, not only that is your last relationship, but it will be a relationship that is based on all the things that you desire for yourself and the things that God desires. So I encourage you, just because it feels as if you are at the back of the line, just because you feel like you're last in place, just know that God's last can also be, and sometimes be, God's best. Just because you're last doesn't mean worse. Last does not equal worse. The same way first doesn't always equal best. When God has his hand in something, it will always be his best, no matter where it is in the order. So I encourage you, don't be discouraged. Continue to pray. Continue to work on you. Continue to seek God and what he wants you to do during your time of waiting. And know that just because your miracle, your blessing, your prayer has not come yet, just know that when it does come, it will be God's best for you. Sometimes the snow comes down in June. Sometimes the sun goes round the moon. Just when I thought our chance had passed, you go and save the best for last. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next time on Talks in the Car.